Hi everyone, it's Stella and I'm back with my fifth video, I think. It has been about 6 months since I last uploaded a video. I did film a video, but then my laptop decided that it wasn't actually going to save the video, and then it wiped everything else that was on my laptop, and then my laptop broke and wouldn't work for about 3 months. And then February the 6th, my mum's flat flooded. So it was quite bad. I was there at the time, and that we had 3 small kids in the house or flat, and the fire brigade wouldn't do anything, so we were all panicking. So we had my mum and my stepdad live here for 2 months until they found a new house, which they've now moved into, which is fantastic. And then I started a new job. It's only 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, but that sort of got in the way. But the main issue really was the laptop. The laptop was the main issue. And so I don't actually have any pictures of what anything looked like before. So it's kind of starting all over again. I do have a lot of finishes, but I can't show you where they were last time I filmed a video. Which is a bit of a pain, but there we go. Everything got wiped, and there's not a lot I can really do about that. I should have had it all backed up, but I didn't. But I've learnt my lesson now, and it will be saved on every device I have. So I'm going to start with moving my cat out of the way, and I'm going to start with my finishes. I have quite a few finishes. A lot of them I think are probably new starts too, since I last filmed a video, but I can't promise you, so maybe you could tell me in the comments. My cat is driving me insane. She just wants to play with my cross-stitch stuff. So I'm going to start off with my finishes. And this one I know was definitely a new start. It was a rack from a really good friend of mine who I was having a bad time at the time, and he decided that he was going to send me something to cheer me up. And it's called Sleepy Fox by Little Beach Hut, and it's a kit from Etsy. So this is what it should look like. And it came in this really cute packaging, wrapped up in brown paper with twine and a little rose and a little peg, and it was really sweet, and I didn't really want to open it, but I had to. So that's that, and then this is the finished piece. I'm planning on trying to frame it in a hoop, but let's hold it up a bit higher. But I'm not very good with framing. As you'll see, I have some fully finished objects too. But it's a really, really cute little design. I think it was about £18 because I'd been looking at it previously, but I couldn't justify spending £18 at the time. And I'm really, really pleased with it. I think I finished it in about 5 days. It was really, really quick. Quite a nice little stitch, and the back stitch wasn't too bad because I quite dislike back stitch. But there we go. And the next one I know was a WIP. In the last video, I'm not entirely sure how far finished it was, but this is, I don't know what I've done with the packaging for it, so I can't show you a picture of what it should look like when it's finished, but I can promise you that it does look like it should. And it's Family by DMC. Oh god, it's got a massive fold in the middle. Let's try and sort that out. And it's just waiting to be framed. I can't find a frame to fit it properly. So there's that one. And I think most of this cream was done. I think it was mostly this bit of cream that hadn't been done. I don't think this bit was done, and this one wasn't done either, I don't think. But I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I'm a huge fan of owls. I'm obsessed with owls. I have you can see my owls on up there, my hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil owls. I'm a massive, massive fan of owls. So that one was a nice, probably took about 8 months. I don't know, 6 months. I'm not sure how long it took me really, but it was the cream. The cream was a real pain in the backside because it was just a massive, massive block of cream in the middle, and nobody really wants to do a massive block of one colour. And then my next one to show you is Embrace the Journey by Lizzie Kate. It's one of the 3 little words even. This one was finished in about 2 or 3 days, and if I remember rightly, I think the pattern was sent to me by Chris. I'm not even going to attempt to say her surname, but she's a really, really lovely lady, and we did a gift exchange, and she sent me 2, I think, and I can't, because Sean sent me some last year, and I can't quite remember which ones or who sent which. But I really like the Lizzie Kate Three Little Words, and I am planning on doing all 7. I have 5 of them, so I just need to get 2 more. I think I have 5 of them. I might have 4 of them. But I'm going to stitch them all up, and then they're going to go in my living room above this archway over here that you can just about see. There's like a ledge that runs across the top, and I'm planning on putting them all up there if they'll fit. And then my other one, my next WIP, my next finish is Never Give Up, also by Lizzie Kay, another 3 little words. I have a feeling that Sean sent me the chart for this one, but I could be completely wrong. So if you're watching this, Sean, let me know. That one, I did this one before that one, and I started it, and I did the Make It in the middle, and started the Happen, and then it got put away for about a month. And then I was working on some other WIPs, and I decided to put it out one evening, and I think I finished it the day after that or something. It didn't take long to stitch, it just took a while to finish it because I stopped for so long in the middle. And then I'll show you my fully finished objects. I did the framing, and it's not been done fantastically, and one of them was a UFO, I think, in the last video. It was Best Seat in the House by Anchor. It was the cats on the armchair, and I decided to pull it back out and finish it, and I did manage to finish it quite quickly. I just wanted to get rid of all the blue, and then when I finished it, I went out and bought all the frames for the finishes that I had, and oh god, it's one of those days today. And I discovered there was a mark on it, and I had no idea how this mark got there. It wasn't there when I'd finished it, and I screwed it up in a ball, threw it across the living room, and cried for an hour. I think that was why Nathan bought me the Sleepy Fox cross stitch, actually. But I'll show you that one first. Cat, mind out the way. I've got them all piled up over here. Oh god, I don't want to break the frames. And it hasn't been framed fantastically. Oh god. But it has been framed, which is a positive, and it is finished. And I am pleased with it. I've got an itchy nose. I've got cat hair on my nose. And it looks exactly like my 2 cats, or almost exactly like my 2 cats. And I was really pleased to finally get it finished. And I was going to hang them all up my staircase, but we're decorating at the moment, and the staircase hasn't been decorated yet. So once the staircase has been decorated, they're going to be put up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. They might just sit they're piled up in my living room at the moment in front of each other, so they'll probably be there for the next 6 years. 2 of them were finishes, I think, in my other videos. I think, so I'll show you those 2 first. I think they were finishes. This one is Cloud's Factory, Harry, Ron and Hermione. It's just a little one, which I finally got round to. This one's framed better. I was very impressed with this one. I was going to say this one has a mount too, but so does the cats. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. But that one's been finished for quite some time, and it's just been sat in a box waiting to be framed. So I got that one framed up. That was the first one I framed, actually. And then it just got worse from there. And then this one is the birth sampler that I did for my daughter. I don't know what the name of it was. I started it in 2012, and I don't even know what happened to the packaging to it. The packaging disappeared before I'd finished it. But here he is. He's been framed really badly. You can see creases and all sorts in it. But it's going to be in my house, so I'm not so bothered. I have now found 2 framers in the area, so some of my cross stitches will be going to them. Charlie said to send this one off to be reframed by them, but it's just too much hassle. It's in a frame, it's going to be on my wall, no one else is really going to see it. So I'm quite pleased with that one. I'm glad it finally got framed, because that one's been finished since, well, about a year now. I think I finished it in May last year. And then my other one was definitely a new start, because I know I didn't have any body threads kits when I last filmed a video, and I've absolutely fallen in love with body threads. I think I've got 3 now. I've got 1 finish, I've got 1 that's a WIP, and one came through today, so that one's not going to be started just yet. But this one is the balloon. There's cat hair on the frame. I have cat hair everywhere. And my partner bought it for me for our anniversary, and I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. And I was going to do them all in wooden frames, but they didn't have a wooden frame in the size that I needed for this one. So I chanced it with a white frame, and I absolutely love it. So all my gorgeous kits that I do are going to be framed in white frames, I think. And they probably won't go on my stairs. They'll probably all go together somewhere else. I'm not sure where. Maybe on my other staircase, because we're in a 3-story house. But I'm really pleased with this one. It was a bit of a bugger to frame because of the button, the heart button on Gorgeous, but I managed it. And the back stitch. The back stitch took me 2 days. Of almost solid stitching. The hair was the worst because it's like a shiny thread. It's not really a metallic, I wouldn't say. It's like a shiny thread, and I really didn't enjoy that, but I did it. So that's all of my finishes and FFOs, I think. Yeah, it must be, because I don't have any others here, and they would be otherwise, I would assume. So I'll show you my WIPs. The first WIP I'll show you is the Majestic Peacock by Anchor. That was definitely in the last video. I've been doing that one coming up a year now, I think, and it's a real labour of love. But it's tedious now. The Peacock was really fun, but it's all of the background stuff. Hang on, let me get all of these florals. Oh god, all of these are just a real pain in the backside to do. But they're getting done slowly. So this is what it should look like. Oh god, you can see the window. Oh god, I can't even hold it straight now. There we go. For some reason the camera's reversed, so I'm confusing myself. There we go. That's a better picture. And this is what it looks like now. So I think all of this has been done since the last video, or most. Oh, there we go. Or most of it. It hasn't actually been touched for a few months until the last 2 days, and I've been filling in some of the little bits of green. But I can only do about 100 stitches on it at a time now, and then it drives me insane. But he does have a little head up there as well. Oh god, other way. There you go. He's got a little bit of a head. But I think that one's probably still going to be going for another about 2 years. The amount of back stitch on it is shocking. I think the back stitch alone is going to take about 2 years to do. I'm not looking forward to the back stitch. A lot of the back stitch is done in gold metallic, which I'm not a fan of metallic threads. They look amazing, horrible to stitch with, especially the ones that tend to come in kits. But there we go. And then my next one is the Magical Creatures calendar, which I finally caught up with this month. I got to February. I did February in February, and then I didn't touch it till this month, because March is a phoenix and it's lots of red and orange and yellow, and I just really didn't want to do it. So I have finally caught up this month, including May. So here it is. God, there we go. It's all creased, it's just folded up in a folder at the moment until June, which I think is a dragon and a castle. All of the threads in this are as charted. I haven't changed any threads. I don't really change threads in many, to be honest, because it's just easier for me to buy the threads that they say and stitch it like they tell me. I don't actually have a picture of what that will look like when it's finished, because when I printed the chart, I didn't print the front page because I didn't have enough ink. Are you alright, Valentine? And then my next WIP is a new one, and it is Poppy Wood by Body Threads. It's one of the Gorgeous girls. When I was growing up, I had an amazing cat called Poppy, and my daughter's called Scarlet, so although she's blonde, the girl kind of reminded me of her in her little dress, and the red, and then obviously with it being Poppy Wood, Poppy Cat, she was amazing. So that's what it should look like when it's finished. And this is where it is now. The girl is finished apart from backstitch, and I'm just trying to do the trees. I did the girl in maybe a week, and then the trees, they're just not so fun, so she's kind of been neglected a little bit for the last few weeks. I do need to get her finished so that I can start something else, because I'm now a serial starter. I might as well be. All I want to do is start new cross stitches. I'm terrible. There's the folder for that one. I've just got piles of cross stitch stuff everywhere. And then the next one is another WIP that was in my last video, and it's Autumn Owl. It's my first Heaven and Earth design, and it's Autumn Owl by Michelle Sayeta. I think that's how you say her surname. If I remember, I'll put a link put links in the description box. I haven't done a huge amount more on this one. There is some progress. I know there's definitely some progress, maybe 3 or 4 columns. But I do really enjoy this one. It's just all of this orange. There's about 5 or 6 different oranges, and they drive me insane. But the purple bit, that's really fun. The actual owl, it's just the background, but I think it's like that with most things, isn't it? The main focus, or the main part of the cross stitch is the fun bit, and then the background, depending on what it is, gets a bit boring. You just want it finished. So that's that one. And then this one, I don't think this one was in my last video. This one is Harry Potter Magical Spells by Clouds Factory, and I decided to stitch it on Black Ada, which I kind of regret. But this is how far this one is so far. It's probably a fifth of the way through the spells, let alone anything else. At the bottom it will have Harry, Ron and Hermione. Exactly the same image as I've already stitched, which is a bit of a pain. But there you go. So that's that one. I haven't done a huge amount. I've done a couple of rows on it, I think, in the last few months. But then saying that, I don't think this one was in the last video. When did the... It might have been. I think I started stitching it last year. Not sure. Not sure at all. And then this one is my last WIP, because my WIPs have gone down. At one point I had about 11, I think, and now I think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I have 6. And this one was, well, I'm now subscribing to 3 cross stitch magazines: The World of Cross Stitch, Cross Stitch Crazy, and Cross Stitcher. And this one was in the World of Cross Stitching, and it came through my door on the Friday, and I started it on the Saturday. So this is what it should look like when it's finished. I absolutely love it. It is Follow Your Dreams by Emma Congdon, and I do really like it. And so as soon as it came through, I thought I need to start it. And I knew that I had a fabric that this would look brilliant on, a hand-dyed fabric that's been in my stash since about August, September last year, just waiting for something to go on it. And when I went through the list of threads, I didn't have them all. I only had a few of them, so I colour matched to the DMC that I already had. I don't think it looks too bad actually, but it was just I had to start it, and I started that about 2 weeks ago, I think, because I had a holiday, which I came back from a week ago yesterday. No, 2 weeks ago yesterday. So about 3 weeks. I started it the week before we went away, and this is where it is at the moment. It is almost finished. I need to finish the single ticket, and then there's a step that goes underneath that. There's a little butterfly. Let's see if I can hold this one-handed, that will go here, and there's a little hot air balloon, I think, that goes here somewhere, and then I think the rest of it's all back stitching. Oh god, my second chin. I need to be careful how I sit. I have started some of the back stitching at the top. Oh god, there we go. So the back stitching on this is actually quite fun to do. I'm not normally a fan of back stitch, but the back stitch on this hasn't bothered me at all. So yeah, this is the one I'm working on at the moment, and I will probably work on this one until it's finished. Or that's the plan anyway. Whether it happens that way, who knows? Nothing ever seems to go to plan, or I don't think it does anyway. So I've got some stash to show you. Let's move it all over a bit. And I'll start with my fabrics. All of these fabrics came in a gift exchange from Chris. I don't think I've really bought any other fabric. I don't. No, I haven't. I haven't bought any fabric since the last video. No, I've just been sort of working through what I had because money was, well, we had my mum living here, so all of our bills went right up, and we had a lot of problems with our cat. Our other cat that you can't see, who sat here next to me, Valentine, she's all of a sudden one day came up with a massive, almost looked like a burn on her head here. And so we rushed her to the vets, and they said that it was an allergy, but they didn't know what it was. So it cost us just under £100 for injections to clear it up and take away the pain somewhat. And then 3 weeks later from that day, another one appeared. So we took her back to the vet, and they said that because they found one flea on her. Our cats don't go out, so they found one flea on her, and so he said it was a flea allergy. So we came back, we defleed the whole house, we treated both cats, and nothing more was thought of it. Obviously she had the injections, just under £100 again. It went away. 5 weeks later, another one appeared. So we took her back to the vet, saw a different vet. She checked her over, said there was absolutely no way she had any sort of fleas, and said that it's a food allergy. So we are about to put her onto hypoallergenic food, in the hope that that's going to work and stop any more allergic reactions. But whether it works or not, we don't really know until we try. She hasn't had, it's about 3 or 4 weeks since she last had one come up, and the injections last 3 weeks, so we had to wait at least 3 weeks before we swapped foods, because if it was a food allergy, then we wouldn't have known because of the injection still working. And then last night I found a massive, oh I say massive, I found a fairly big lump under her leg. So she's going to be going back to the vets, and it was purely by accident that I found it, because it's right in front of her back leg, and she's got a really fluffy belly, so it's not something you'd normally notice, and you can only see it when she's walking, and I don't really watch the cats walk. And I let the cats out the back, they go out in the evenings, and I watched EastEnders, and then I heard this knock on the door and realised the cats were both out there, and the cat was trying to get in. And so I went and let them both in, and it was dipping down my brain. So I felt so bad, and they were absolutely soaked. So I had to towel dry both the cats, and Valentine doesn't like towels. And so as she walked away from me, I noticed it, and it's probably about that sort of size, or it looks that sort of size because she's got so much fluff, but she won't let me touch it. So yeah, she'll be going back to the vets again. So that's why I haven't really been buying much, because the cat's been swallowing my wages. So I'll show you the fabrics that Chris sent me, and the first one is a Charles Craft Hardhanger 22 count, and she said these fabrics were all from her stash, and she said that her eyes aren't so good now, so she thought she'd send them to me so that I could get some use out of them, and I will, I definitely will. So here's this one. It's a fairly big piece, I think, 12 by 18, and with it being 22 count, that's pretty big really. If I was going to stitch over one, I don't know if I would, because it would seem a bit weird to stitch. I don't think I could stitch over two, because that'd be like 11 count, wouldn't it? So it would have to be stitched over one. So that's a fairly big piece for the size of the fabric. So there's that one, and then there is this one, which is Garibaldi's Needleworks 28 count linen in periwinkle, and this one's a fat 8. My camera's doing quite well. I'm sat near the window, so, even though it's raining, which is showing up the colours fairly well. It's a little bit darker in person, I think. Yeah, a little bit darker. But I really love this fabric, and I nearly stitched the oh god, what's it called? Follow Your Dreams by Emma Congdon on it, and I thought, no, I'm going to use the one that looks like clouds, which is from Chromatic Alchemy, by the way. I'm not sure of the name. I don't know where the folder's gone. Where's the folder gone? And it's not in the folder. If I can find the thing with the name of that fabric on, I will put it in the box below. But yeah, so this one's just waiting for something to stitch on it. Something nice, hopefully. I keep scratching my face. It feels like I've got cat hair on my face, but I don't think I have. I think it's my hay fever. I haven't taken my hay fever tablets this morning. Or it could just be me. One of those like nervous things. And this one is also Garibaldi's Needleworks 14 count Ada 17 by 19 inches in Blackberry Cobbler. That's quite true to colour as well. And this one is really nice. It's got like a slight mottling to it, and it's a big piece as well. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. Something bigger, something bright and colourful, I think. I don't think I'd put anything too dark on it because it's already quite dark. I'm not sure. It will just sit in my stash until I have something perfect for it. So next up I have a couple of charts and a cross stitch kit. The two charts are also from Chris, and I do have a couple of others, but I wasn't sure which ones they were because they were Lizzie Kate's. So I thought I'd just go with these for now until I can figure out who got what. But this one is Cat Lessons for People by Lizzie Kate. And I absolutely love this because obviously I have two cats. I'd quite like another, but I'm not allowed. And then she also included the threads for it, which was a shock because obviously hand-dyed threads aren't the cheapest. And she, pardon me, she put a note in to say that she only ordered one of the colours by accident, and that's not a problem. I'm going to be ordering this in the next couple of weeks. The thread and some fabric for it. I'm thinking of doing it on like a sandy sort of colour like it is on the image, but I'm going to be ordering a few things in the next couple of weeks because my partner has a new job that he'll be starting, and he's going to be going from weekly pay to monthly pay, which is going to be a bit of an issue for us. So I'm trying to buy enough cross stitch stuff to last me the first couple of months whilst we get sorted. And this is another chart from Chris, which is Leave an Imprint by Cherry Hill Stitchery, which of course is owls, and we all know how much I love owls. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. And she included the threads too, which are all DMC. And a lot of them I think are DMCs that I don't have as well, which is always handy because I don't have a full set of DMC. I'd quite like a full set of DMC, but I can't afford one at the moment. So this is the kit that came through this morning. It was a free gift with one of my magazine subscriptions, and it's 2 months late. I had quite the ordeal emailing them because they just didn't seem to understand what I was trying to say, but we got there in the end. And this is Love Spring by Bobby Threads, and if I enjoy stitching this one, I am probably going to buy the other three and then do the full set. Well, that's the plan, because I do have a set of trees, the 4 seasons, that are Chinese kits, but I don't really enjoy stitching them, and the autumn one has become a UFO, which is the only one I've started, and it's just kind of sat there doing nothing. So if I enjoy stitching this, which I'm not sure I will, because the actual tree is in metallic silver. Oh, you can kind of see the silver over here. No, wrong way. There we go. So it depends how the metallic goes. So I'm not sure if the others are done in metallic or not. They might be. They might not be. And then last but not least, I have a little Madeira stash that was also a free gift actually, with another magazine subscription, because I subscribed to 3 magazines in 1 month, which I probably shouldn't have done, but it works out. I think it works out £10 a month for 3 magazines, which are £4.99. So basically I get a free magazine each month, so I'm not going to complain really. And so first of all, there is these Madeira threads. That's the other one. There's 3 metallics, and then I think these are all just normal. Moulin. I don't really use, well, I do use Madeira because that's what they use in the bobby kits. And those are the normal threads. But I've sort of building up a stash of Madeira threads now, because they come in handy, especially if I ran out of something in the bobby threads kit. If I had the whole set of Madeira, I'd be able to just, because obviously they don't have the numbers on them, they only have the chart symbols, which can be a bit of a pain if you run out, but they are very good, and they do send them to you if you run out. And then this is the carrot threads, which are all metallics. I'm not sure that they will get used too much by me. I'll try them and see what they're like, but me and metallics don't normally agree. And then I got this one, which is a heavy metal, in 1228, and I love it. I haven't used it yet, but it's a gorgeous copper colour, nice metallic copper, and this doesn't feel like it'd be too bad to stitch with either. So I do need to try that. And then I also got a Lana thread in 3601, which is white. And now I really need to cross stitch something like a sheep, because this is the one that fluffs up. And I could, a little fluffy sheep. I'm not a fan of sheep, but I need to stitch something that's white and fluffy, and that's the only thing I can really, a pair of fluffy slippers. Might look a bit odd framed on my wall, but something white and fluffy, so I can try that out. And then my Madeira scissors, which are the stalk ones, and the scissor keep that's on them was from Chris, and I put it away into, because I knew I had these scissors coming, until the scissors arrived, because they're gold and purple, gold scissors. I thought, what better way? And I think that's everything I have to show. I don't think I've missed anything out. I don't think so anyway. So the plan is to try and do at least one video a month. And when I finish filming, I'm going to take a picture of every single one of my WIPs, and I'm going to put them in a special album on my laptop so I don't forget, so that I can use those to show you next time where I am. And hopefully next time my laptop's not going to play up. Thankfully it's fixed now, so hopefully it's not going to break again, and hopefully it doesn't delete this video, because currently I'm at 31 minutes, just over. So hopefully this isn't going to delete, because I will cry and probably won't film it for about another 3 months whilst I get over the fact that I filmed a 30-minute video and it didn't save or record or whatever. I did quite a few test runs with little videos to make sure that they saved and that they opened before I actually filmed the video. But yeah, so I think that's everything. I'm going to go and stitch because it's Saturday and it's horrible weather outside. It's raining again. But I live in Somerset and we're quite well known for our rain and our flooding now. But luckily I'm high up, so I'm not going to flood, which is quite handy because we won't all fit in my mum's new house. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'm going to go and stitch and hope that the cats leave me alone for a little bit. Mumu's asleep now by the looks of it. Oh god, which way this way? Curled up on the armchair, nice and asleep. He's called Mumu because he looks like a cow, if you're wondering. And I will see you next time. Thank you for sticking with me, if you're still sticking with me, from the nice sort of 6-month break. But that's not going to happen again, because I'm determined. Unless my laptop breaks, which hopefully it won't. But that's it, and I will see you soon, and happy stitching!